Hi there, thanks for joining me for today's practice. Today's practice will use the whole body and hopefully you'll feel great afterwards. So for today's practice you'll need a block. If you don't have one then don't worry, you'll just keep your legs together for that first little bit that we do lying down on the mat. So let's just start lying down on our backs. And we'll start with the feet hip distance apart. Just parallel, arms down by your side, palms facing up. And just make sure that your back isn't flattened down onto the mat. There's a little bit of space for the lower back. And then closing down the eyes. Just noticing the soles of the feet, just lightly pressing down in the back of the pelvis. It's resting and the upper body releasing down onto the mat. And starting to take a few deeper, clearing breaths. So deep breath in through the nose and then out through the mouth. So once again, deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. It's the last time like that. Deep breath in and exhaling out. Just coming back to breathing, just in and out through the nose. And gently opening the eyes. Bring the right knee in towards the chest and then take that left leg long, flexing both feet and squeezing that right knee in towards the chest and slightly towards that right armpit. Just taking an inhale here. As you exhale, squeezing the knee in a tiny little bit more if you can. And then extending that right leg away and then bringing the left knee in. Interlacing the fingers, flex both feet. Try to draw that left knee in towards the chest and just very slightly towards the left armpit, pressing down through the back of the right thigh. Try to soften through the shoulders. Take one more inhale. And then exhale, squeeze that knee in a little bit more. And then let's take that left leg away. And draw both feet back flat onto the mat. Grab your block. If you don't have your block, then just keep your legs where they are and then bring your feet together. Otherwise, if you've got your block, keep the feet hip distance apart or however wide they need to be for the block to rest inside the thighs comfortably. And then rest the hands down by your side. I'm going to squeeze the block and then lift the feet off a couple of inches off the mat. So flex the feet, so pretty close down to the mat. And then take another inhale. As you exhale, lift the head and shoulders off, looking towards just above the knees, palms of hands facing one another. And imagine that the two frontal hip bones are drawing in towards one another. So just energetically, and then find the breath. This is gonna wake up the torso, wake up the belly, start to build up a little bit of heat. Take one more inhale and then exhale. Try to lift up a little bit higher and then inhale to release back down. Let's take a moment and we'll do that again. Taking an inhale, exhale to squeeze the inner thighs. Keep the squeeze and then lift the feet off. Keep the feet flexed. Take an inhale and then exhale to lift the head and shoulders off, reaching the fingertips forward. Chin is away from the chest. With each exhale, see if you can just lift up another millimeter or so. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, try to lift up a little bit higher and then inhale to release all the way back down. We're going to do that one more time. Inhaling, exhale to squeeze the block and then lift the feet off a couple of inches. Take another in-breath. Exhale to lift up, reaching the fingertips forward. And I'm sure you're feeling it a little bit now. Just try to breathe through it. Notice the rising sensation and the heat in the body. Keep squeezing the block. 4, 3, 4, 2. Take one more inhale. Exhale, lift up a little bit higher and then inhale to release all the way back down. Nice work. Let's pop the block out of the way if you've been using the block. And then from here, let's bring the legs up to your tabletop position. So knees over the hips. Take the arms out to the side at shoulder height, palms facing down. So pressing down through the palms of hands. Squeeze the thighs together. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let the legs come over halfway down towards the mat. Try not to let that left knee slide back. Left shoulder blade stays down. And then inhale, come back up through center. And then exhale over to the left. Try to not let that right knee slide back. And then inhale back up through center. And then exhale back over to the right. Knees stay together. And then inhale back up through center. Exhale to the left. Right shoulder blade stays down. And then inhale back through center. Place the feet down, feet hip distance apart, arms down by your side. Peeling the spine off one vertebra at a time. Taking an inhale to come up. Pressing down through the soles of the feet to lift the hips up. Try not to let the knees fall apart. So just energetically thinking about those inner thighs drawing in. We're going to make a diamond shape underneath our pelvis. So index finger and thumbs lightly touching. So pop it down underneath you, palms flat, and then sit the hips all the way down. And you want to make sure that they feel comfortable. So you're sitting flat onto the back of the pelvis here. And then bring the feet together. Bring one knee up at a time. And then start to straighten the legs up towards the ceiling. If you need to keep a slight bend through the knees, then that's completely fine. Otherwise, keep reaching those heels up. Take an inhale. As you exhale, release the right leg down just off the floor a couple of inches, and then inhale to come back up. Exhale the left leg down, and inhale coming back up. Exhale the right leg down, and inhale back up, and then exhale the left leg down. Inhale, come back up. Exhale the right leg down, and we're going to hover here for a few breaths. Try to press the inside edge of the right foot forward. Keep reaching that left heel up. And then inhale that right leg up. And then exhale that left leg down. Hovering a couple of inches off the floor. Keep extending that right heel up. Keep the breath open. And then inhale to come back up. Bend through the knees. Place the feet down. And release the hands down from behind you and let the pelvis rest back down. Bringing the knees in towards the chest, hands behind the thighs. Rock yourself up to a seated position. And then coming all the way down onto your belly. Feet hip distance apart. Bring those hands back, hands in line with your elbows. Try to lift the kneecaps off and then inhale, coming up into your baby cobra. Squeeze the elbows in. Keep reaching the tailbone back in between the feet. Maybe lifting those hands off just to test yourself that you don't have too much weight in your hands. So you can pop the hands back down, and then you might be able to use a little bit of weight into those hands, but trying to find that back strength, hamstring, glute strength to lift up. Take one more inhale, and then exhale to release it down. Hands back underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back towards the heels. Tuck the toes under. Coming into your down facing dog. And then let's take a pedal out through the feet. And as you take a pedal, really think about opening up the soles of the feet. So don't get too fast here. Think about the toes being relaxed. And then releasing both heels back down. Taking one more breath here. And starting to walk the feet forward up towards the top of the mat. You can keep the feet hip distance apart, soften through the knees. Take your left hand a little bit further forward. You might take your hand to the shin if you need to, and then take that right arm up towards the ceiling, looking up towards the right fingertips. Keep pressing down through the outside edge of the right foot. Take an inhale, and then exhale. Bring that right hand down, bending through the right knee, straightening that left leg. Take that left arm up. Pressing down through the outside of the left foot now. Taking one more inhale, and then exhale, bringing that left hand down, soften through both knees, drop the hips down to take a spinal roll to come all the way up to standing into your Tadasana. So you can keep your feet hip distance apart. Sometimes that feels quite good for your lower back, but if you want to, you can bring them together side by side. Extending the arms down by your side, turning the palms to face forward. Little micro bend through the knees, crown of the head reaching up. Just letting that weight drop down into the feet, and at the same time have a sense of energy lifting up through the crown. A few half sun salutes here. Take an inhale, reach those arms up, looking up towards the thumbs, and then exhale, forward fold. Feel free to bend through the knees here as much as you need to. Let the head relax down. And take an inhale into your halfway lift. Hands can come to the shins. Exhale, fold. And then coming back up again. Inhale. Press down through the feet, reaching up through the hands. And then exhale, forward fold. Let the weight shift forward onto the balls of the feet. And then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And taking the arms out to the side, inhale. One more time like that. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Taking the arms out to the side, inhaling. Exhale, forward into your Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, step the right leg all the way back, coming down onto the right knee, release the toes, and just holding your low lunge or Anjaneyasana lunge here. Stay here for a couple of breaths. If you need to come up onto the fingertips, you can, otherwise sealing the palms of the hands down. Take one more inhale, tuck the back toes under, step back into your plank position. Pressing the mat away from you with the hands, try not to let the head drop down. Inhale, let's take modified chaturanga. Come down to the knees. Elbows point straight back, up arms hugging in. Lower yourself all the way down slowly. Release the toes. Inhale, you might come up into a bit of a high cobra. Shoulders away from the ears. Squeeze the elbows in. And then exhaling, lowering down, tuck the toes under. Press back into your down facing dog. Taking one breath here. Reach that right heel up towards the ceiling, keeping the right hip rotating down, and then exhale, bringing the knee in towards the chest. Lift through the belly as you step that right foot forward in between the hands. Use your hand to bring it forward if you need to. Release the back toes. This time, hook the thumbs, take those arms up alongside the ears. Keep lifting through the front of the body and maybe take it into more of an upper back bend, letting the hips shift forward. Taking one more inhale. Exhale to circle the arms back, all the way down by the front foot, tuck the back toes under, lifting the knee off and stepping forward, relaxing down into your Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Taking the arms out to the side, inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, hands together, and then exhale, coming forward. Once again, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, stepping the left leg back, coming down onto that left knee, planting the hands down if you can, just holding your low lunge. Just a little bit of lift through the lower belly, so we're not just collapsing down through the hips. Just taking one more inhale, exhale to tuck the back toes under, lift the knee off and step back into your plank position. Feeling free to drop down to the knees if you need to. Otherwise, we're going to go for full chaturanga now. So we want to shift the weight slightly forward, elbows point straight back. So we're just halfway down, shoulders in line with the elbows. Press through the feet. You could come into your cobra, or if you feel okay for your up facing dog, coming in to up dog, sharp through the inner feet. So try to let the feet collapse, knees are off. Inhale, and then exhale back into down facing dog. Just taking a breath here. Take the left heel up towards the sky, drawing that right quadricep up. Inhale, and then exhale, knee to the center of the chest, lift through the belly to step that left foot forward. Come down to the knee, release the back toes, hooking the thumbs, take those arms up. Those floating ribs softening in. Maybe if you're feeling okay, you're starting to shift the hips forward, lifting the sternum up, reaching those arms back. Taking one more inhale, exhale to circle the arms all the way down by the front foot, tuck the back toes under, and then stepping the right foot forward, relaxing the head down. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, fold. Taking the arms out to the side, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, step the right leg back, staying on the ball of the right foot, coming up into your high lunge. Bending a bit deep in that front leg. Continue to let those lower ribs that like to really pop out, letting them soften in. Maybe bend a little bit deep in that front leg. Take an inhale, exhale, bring the hands down, step back into your plank position. Inhaling here, exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, so up dog, and then exhale back to your down facing dog. Just one breath again. Inhale that right leg up into your three-legged dog. Exhale to step it forward in between the hands. Come up into your crescent moon lunge. And then from here, take the right hand back onto the back of the pelvis or the back of the left thigh, and then start to turn the shoulders to the right. Keep reaching that pinky, the left pinky finger up towards the ceiling. Maybe bending a bit deep in this front leg and try to lift that left hip up a little bit. Take the right arm back up, inhaling. Exhale, circle the arms behind the back, interlacing the fingers. If you can't do this, then just hold your forearms or your elbows. Otherwise, pressing the heels, the hands together. And then from here, we're going to start to shift the weight into the front leg. Think about the inside edge of that left leg lifting up, coming up into your warrior three variation. Crown of the head is reaching forward. Reach that left heel back. Keeping that left hip rotating down slightly. Keep breathing. And then let's reach that left foot all the way back. Return into crescent moon lunge. Inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down. Stepping that left foot forward. Relax the head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Taking the arms out to the side. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees, step the left leg back. Coming up into your crescent moon lunge. Bending a bit deep in that front leg. Just holding it here. Trying to lift that left heel up towards the ceiling and then bend a bit deep in that front leg. Taking one more inhale. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back into your plank position. Inhaling, exhale, chaturanga. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, down dog. One breath. Inhaling that left leg up. Exhale, stepping it forward in between the hands. Coming up into your crescent moon lunge. Taking one more in-breath here, and then exhale to bring that left hand onto the back of that right thigh or the back of the pelvis. So if you can, holding the thigh, bend a bit deep in that front leg, turn the shoulders towards the left. Engaging that right glute, so that right hip doesn't drop down. Take that left arm up, inhale. Exhale, circle the hands behind you. Interlacing the fingers or take hold of the forearms. Start to shift the weight forward into that front leg a little bit. You might step forward a little bit with that back foot and then inside edge of that right leg. Lifting up into your warrior three. Crown of the head reaching forward. Up. Trying again. Inside edge of that right leg lifting up. Try to keep the shoulders square. Rotate the right toes down towards the mat. Maybe lift up that right leg up a little bit higher. And then stepping back into your crescent moon lunge. Release the arms. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, bring the hands down, stepping that right foot forward, relax the head down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Take the arms out to the side, inhale. Palms of hands come together. Exhale, draw the hands down through the center line. Rest them in front of the chest and close down your eyes. Just for a few moments, just collecting the breath, letting the weight drop back down into the feet. Make sure you're not locking out through the knees. And just noticing how that movement continues on the inside, even though we've come to stillness. That elevated heart rate, bit of heat, maybe a bit of sweat. And let's open the eyes, releasing the arms down by your side, bringing the feet together side by side, and then bend through the knees coming into your Utkatasana. Take those arms up alongside the ears if you can. And if it's too much for your shoulders, just take them a bit further forward. They're bending a little bit deeper, maybe lift the eyes. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to sit down a little bit deeper, You might need to use your hands. Otherwise, we're going to sit all the way down and come straight into half Navasana. Okay, arms by your shins. Or if you need to hold the backs of the legs and do that, drop the shoulders down. If you can. Hands are extended out. Keep lifting up through the lower back. Anyone here who likes to go for your full variation, then feeling free to extend those legs, looking towards the big toes. 3 more full breaths. And then let's release the feet down. Nice work. Bring the soles of the feet together. Try to bring the heels in just a little bit more. And use your hands to open up the feet a little bit. Take an inhale to lengthen up through the lower back. And then exhale, start to come forward. Just to where you can. If you can, continue to hold your feet and use your elbows a little bit to open up the thighs, that's fine. If you feel more comfortable, have the hands down, then that's also fine. Focus on evening out the breathing. It's nice to come into a more restorative pose after working quite dynamically. And then let's inhale, come back up. Cross the legs over, just coming over the knees and stepping back into your down facing dog. Take the right heel up towards the ceiling, inhale. Exhale to step it forward in between the hands. Come down to that left knee, release the back toes. Press down into that left hand and take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Try not to let this left shoulder hunch up towards the ear. So press the mat away from you, drop the left shoulder away from you. Let's take one more inhale here. And then exhale, bringing that right hand down. Walk this right foot across to the left hand side of the mat. So it's a little bit tricky. You're going to tuck the back toes under. Lift the knee off and then tuck that left knee underneath the right leg. If you can't get there that way, then just come into it. Just crossing that right leg over, right ankle near that left thigh. Right hand behind you, take that left arm up, inhaling, and then exhale, hook that left elbow over the right thigh, and then start to turn the shoulders towards the right. Thinking about the left side of the body, or the upper body, turning towards the right. Just taking one more inhale. As you exhale, maybe finding a little bit more twist, and then inhale to release back to center. Bringing the hands forward, and then stepping back into your down facing dog. Take the left leg up, inhale. Exhale to step it forward in between the hands. Come down to that right knee, release the back toes, and then peel that left arm up towards the ceiling. Once again, try not to let that shoulder drop towards the ear. And on your next exhale, let's bring that left hand back down, tucking the back toes under, lifting the knee off. Just walking that left foot across to the right, and then bringing that right knee, tucking it under the left leg. Let both sitting bones be down if you can. Left hand behind you, reach the right arm up, inhaling, exhale, tuck the elbow over that left thigh, turning the shoulders towards the left. Just remembering, I didn't say this on the other side, but to not overturn the head. So you don't need to really stress out the neck. If you feel like it's better for your neck to just stay more in line with the spine, that's completely fine. Just finding a bit more mobility through the thoracic spine rather than the neck. Last breath here. And then inhale, coming back to center, bringing the hands forward, taking that right leg back and stepping back into your down facing dog. Looking towards the hands, bring both hands a little bit closer together and then step the right foot to the outside of the right hand and then the left foot to the outside of the left hand, and let yourself come down into a deep yogic squat. So coming into your malasana. If this is not available, you could sit on a block or 2 blocks, or you might even just sit all the way down, feet flat on the mat, okay? Otherwise, just letting the hips be really heavy, and if it feels comfortable to do so, close your eyes without letting the head drop down. So you want to have a sense of energy out through the crown and the hips being heavy. There's a little bit of a squeeze inwards with the inner thighs and pressing outwards through the elbows. And let's open the eyes. Bring the hands forward. Start to shift the weight into the hands and then rotate the feet to parallel as you do that. Walk the feet in a little bit closer so they're just hip distance apart. Soften through the knees and just hanging down in your Uttanasana for a couple of breaths. Let's step back into your plank position. Come down to the knees. Lie all the way down onto your belly. So feet are hip distance apart. Bring the feet in towards the bottom. So we're going to take our Dhanurasana or our bow position. If that's not possible, then you can just keep the legs long and extend the arms back behind you. So just take another back strengthening or opening position. And then from here, let's start to lift the knees off and kick the shins back. Lift the sternum up. Find the breath. Start to stay on the soft part of the belly. Two more full breaths. And then as you exhale, release all the way down. Release the legs out. Bring the big toes together, let the heels fall away from one another, arms down by your side, and turn the head to one side. Just resting the head down. Just letting the breath recover. And then bringing the hands underneath the shoulders, bringing the knees together, sitting back into your child's pose with the knees together if you can. Forehead coming down, arms down by your side. You could rest your forehead on your hands or fists if you need a little bit more height. Just feeling that decompression in the lower back. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Press yourself up to a seated position. We're sitting over to one side. Let's take the legs out in front of you. Come a little bit further down your mat so we've got room to roll back in a moment. So we're going to take our forward fold. We're pressing down through the backs of the legs. Reach those arms up. Inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Just to where you can. You might stay quite upright, but don't feel like you have to come forward. If you have got a strap, this is a great place to use a strap around your feet. You want to have a sense of continuing to draw those quadriceps up a little bit. If you've got the space here, think about the inside edges of the feet pressing forward. Feet stay flexed. This last couple of breaths. And then inhale, coming all the way back up. Just taking those arms up to shoulder height, and we're going to roll down one vertebra at a time. So drawing that navel in, keep pressing down through the backs of the legs, pressing all the way down, all the way down. And let's bring the legs up, flat onto the mat for the moment. Lift the hips up and shift them slightly towards the left, and then bring the knees in towards the chest. You can drop the knees over to the right hand side, placing the right hand on the top of the left thigh, and turning the head to look over the left shoulder. That left palm facing up. Feeling free to close the eyes. And then inhale the legs back up through the center. Place the feet back down, and this time let's lift the hips up and shift them slightly towards the right, bringing the knees in towards the chest a little bit, and then drop them over to the left hand side, turning that right palm to face up, right shoulder blade down if you can. Left hand can be on the top of that right thigh. So noticing if there's any unnecessary effort that you can let go of here. So in the face, the jaw, the back of the throat. And then bringing the legs back up to the center, placing the feet back down, bring the hips back towards the middle. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest just to finish, squeezing the knees in, taking an inhale as you exhale, lifting the head up towards the knees, squeezing in. And then on your next in-breath, let's release the head back down, releasing one leg down at a time, arms a little bit away from the body. Just letting the feet fall away from one another, palms facing up. And let's take a deep breath in through the nose, belly rises, and exhale out through the mouth. One more time like that, deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. So last time, in through the nose, inhaling, out through the mouth. Just allowing the breathing to settle back into its natural rhythm. Just letting go of the weight of the body with each exhale. Just feeling supported by the ground underneath you. And resting here for the next few minutes. And starting to bring the attention back to the breathing. Deepening into the breathing so you feel your belly rise and fall. Just bringing in a little bit of movement to the fingers and toes. Bending one knee up at a time. And then rolling over onto your right hand side, just using your right arm as a little bit of a pillow and staying here for a couple of breaths. And then using your left hand just to press yourself back up to come to a seated position. And come to comfortable cross legs for the last few moments. Feeling the weight of the sitting bones, shoulders relaxed, face soft. Bringing the palms of the hands together into your prayer in front of the chest. And for today, let's finish by lifting the fingertips in between the eyebrows for clear thought, and to the lips for honest speech, and in front of the chest for an open heart. Bowing the head down towards your hands. Thank you for joining me for today's practice. Namaste.